Take a deep breath, Mike. Take a deep breath. Hold it.
Good. Real fast now. Take another deep breath and set up straight.
Okay. Let it go. Okay. Take the water.
Fine.
Here's Spinks, who was beginning to dominate the fight. That was an awfully good right hand to the body. I said earlier, Ray, that Braxton was part Archie Moore and part Joe Frazier. I think he's going to have to forget the Archie Moore part and come on like Joe Frazier and try to dominate his man physically rather than with his boxing skills.
I definitely agree, Larry. He has to be more aggressive, get inside, work the body like Joe Frazier did in the past. Slow his man down.
This is the 8th round. Braxton comes out of his corner breathing rather heavily. Actually, that shot to the kidneys by Spinks in the last round could have been the best punch of the fight.
That was a great punch to the kidneys by Michael Spinks. Those are the kind of punches that slows an opponent down.
I don't believe that's a knockdown. That is not a knockdown. And Spinks comes right back with another left hook, and again, you can just see Braxton be stopped by it. And there's a good right hand by Braxton. That was a good solid shot by Braxton. But Spinks right back with the left hand. That also is a push. And Michael Spinks can only laugh about it. They are calling that a knockdown. I don't believe it was. In all honesty, I do not believe that was a knockdown.
It just happened so fast.
And Braxton is right on his man. I don't even think Braxton thought it was a knockdown.
Well, I'm sure he will accept that.
No question.
Now, see, this is where Braxton wants Spinks against the ropes.
There's a good right-handed counter-punch by Braxton. And Braxton back across the ring. Tries to hold Spinks and hit on hold. Now it's Braxton against the ropes. And again, Spinks goes down, and again, it is not a knockdown. It's the 3rd time in this round. They called one of them a knockdown.
The ring is not really that steady either. Here in the corner where we're sitting at, the ring is unbalanced, is uneven.
I think what's happening too when they get in close quarters is that Braxton is stepping on Spinks' toe. Not intentionally, but
it's an awkward fight for both fighters, especially inside with all the clinch and hold and wrestling.
Right hand a little bit short. That was a good right hand by Braxton.
If Braxton double his punches up sometimes, go to the body, come back to the head with that same punch. Instead of waiting for one big punch.
All in all, this has been a rather effective round for Braxton. Turns Spinks around and scores with a combination once more.
Now he has become a Joe Frazier. He has become more aggressive. And if he can keep this up, we may see the tables turn. But he has to keep going.
Spinks covering up a little bit here, too. And just a little bit of the starch has gone from Michael Spinks. Now, that's not to say that it'll last for the rest of the fight. Braxton very definitely the aggressor now, forcing the action, and has Spinks backpedaling.
I see fatigue in both fighters. More so in Michael Spinks.
End of the round, and a very good round for Braxton.
That was Braxton's best round by far. Let's see if we can hear something in the corner. I thought Michael Spinks lost his composure a little bit and got a little wild, and perhaps from fatigue.
All right, put it down. Good and clear.
Let's take a look now if we can catch that knockdown. I thought it was a knockdown, Ray. Even though it wasn't a devastating punch, he fell as a result of a punch. He hit him in the... Spinks is an awkward fighter very often and off balance, but as you see, it was a punch that put him down.
He was also standing on his foot.
Well, that helps too.
Come on now.
Shades of Chuck Wepner and Muhammad Ali.
That was a very good round for Braxton. If he can keep it up, stay aggressive.
This is the 9th round. Now let's see if, in fact, Michael Spinks is tired. He comes out with a left uppercut right at the bell. It is possible that Spinks could have been just pacing himself in that round And he does pick up the tempo a little bit here to start things.
Well, that wrestling, all that wrestling holding will tire a fighter out.
Oh, as we said earlier, there's another combination. As now Braxton is brawling a little bit more.
Well, this is what Braxton needs to do and wants to do. Get inside, work his man, over muscle, outpower his man.
Of the two right now, Ray, I would have to think Braxton is the stronger.
I think presently Braxton seems to have gained his second win a lot sooner than Michael Spinks. Although Michael still has enough power to get Braxton out of there if he should land a good punch. Again, both of these guys are capable of knocking each other out.
There's not as much spring in the legs of Michael Spinks either right now.
Well, you never seen Michael Spinks that aggressive and so early rounds. I don't like what Mike's doing when he runs away. When he runs away, he could be hit by a blinding punch.
Braxton also able to get inside a little bit easier in the last couple of rounds. Certainly in the 8th round, and here a little bit in the 9th. There's a little bit of blood from the nose of Braxton. I don't believe that it will cause him any problem. That was a pretty good right hand by Spinks, but it did not cause Braxton to take a backward step.
You know, another point to bring out, even inside, although Michael Spinks is tall and his arms are longer, he throws very good short punches and powerful punches. Whereas that you would expect a shorter man to be able to throw more punches and do more damage inside.
Spinks, to me, just seems a step slower right now.
Well, Michael's starting to reach now. He's starting to telegraph his punches. What I'm afraid of, that Braxton's going to counterpunch with an overhand right while Mike is throwing that left jab out there.
And there was a right hand, just as advertised.
Well, I know I'm talking about, too.
And another good right hand as Spinks bounces off the ropes right into it.
Well, Michael can't leave that jab out there too long.
And there's another counter-punching right.
You see what's happening now? He's giving Braxton momentum, and Braxton's going to take charge. He's going to take advantage of this.
Left hook, short left hook, stopped Braxton in his tracks.
Braxton's making, the reason he's getting hit by the left hook is he's going down, he's staying there instead of moving his head a lot more.
Nonetheless, another effective round for Dwight Braxton, I should think.
God, he got the second.
We're in Dwight Braxton's corner.
Pull it in and let it out. You're okay. You're okay. That's what I want to know. All I want to know is how you feel. You all right?
How we doing, fellas?
Okay.
Hey, I can help stand on foot.
Yeah, what you're doing, though, you're letting the guy off the hook. You're letting him off the hook. You're letting him off the hook. Last round, you hit him with a couple punches in the stand. You make him miss. Pressure on him all the time. Make him miss. I want you to fire.
Here we see an overhead shot of the two fighters and the geometry between them, the problem that each poses for the other. And in Braxton's corner, Quenzel McCall is urging him to come on, that he's letting Spinks off the hook. It's obvious that they feel that Spinks is getting tired.
And there is still quite a ways to go. This is the 10th round.
I really didn't expect this fight to go this long.
It becomes a whole different fight now, too.
It is. I mean, they are fighting a different fight altogether, overlooking the fact of the size difference.
Braxton again lunging at Spinks, but doing so with more success than he did in the early rounds.
This is what Braxton also wants. He wants to keep Michael Spinks running away from him, which could be a very bad mistake on Mike's part because he's running away and he might get hit by a blind punch.
Remember, Dwight Braxton has not gone more than 11 rounds. Now, there's a combination and a pretty good uppercut thrown by Spinks, and it really didn't seem to have any effect.